Well, there you go. That's the introduction, brief as it is to it's after 7 o'clock. Just get that.
Is it really?
Just qualify. Look at that. She looks great.
We're not even on time here.
I know. Look at that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
It's great. Everybody's great.
Yeah, not
she's
everybody.
Not wearing anything.
But
she doesn't have nothing on underneath.
She's
that
gonna
black
float
top.
away.
I am assuming she has no panties on either.
Really?
She's gonna float
no,
away.
You can see them. You can see the line.
Can you? I can't. We should ask her to come over and.
That is a great production called Mediocrity taking place across the street from us. I'm going to try and get everybody on camera.
Are they reenacting the Obama administration over there? Mediocrity? What's going on?
There we go.
She's
there
gonna
you go. There you
float
go.
away.
There's everybody. Wave. Hi. Oh, yeah. It's Riverwest, Kristen. You can carry your drink anywhere. There's Kristen Peterson right there. That's okay. Hanging out over at Mediocrity, and everybody, all the kids there, doing a movie shoot today. So, real movie stuff going on right here.
You better be careful. I'm not sure if they're going to want to be on camera. Shooting them without their permission.
That's.
They're out in public, which means I can do whatever I want.
Really?
Absolutely.
I'd like to challenge that.
Really?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can't walk around naked, can you?
You sure can.
I guess you could.
You can do whatever you want.
My argument's over. I'm
But
done.
I'm talking about
Case
filming.
dismissed.
I'm talking about whether you can film it or not.
Oh.
And yeah, you can. You can certainly do that.
Can I film into someone else's home?
Technically, that's public.
If you're standing in public, yes, you can.
Okay.
So if you're standing on the street and you aim it into somebody's private space and they haven't closed it, there's some real touchy rules about that.
Okay.
But technically, yes, you can. Suddenly.
That's very good information. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So now
Let's just go find
now
houses
that
with
nice
open
lady
windows.
across the way from you. Yes. Can you guys hear me? Am I all right?
I can.
I can hear
you hear
you.
me? Level's
Can you
good?
hear me?
No, your level's not good in my
No,
microphone.
it's not.
Headphones.
Yeah, me either.
Is this how we're going to start the show?
There we go. This is a little
There we go.
There
That's
we
a little
go.
better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Wow, this is fabulous. Okay, so hey guys, this is Extempo Radio, right here on riverwestradio.com. You're hanging out tonight. Appreciate you tuning in. We got an amazing show of a lot of people popping up on the program tonight, but I got to read you this first. It gets us in the mood. It gets us set, and this is the way things come together. Hey, welcome to Extempo Radio. My name is Brendan O'Day. I'm the producer of this show. The things you will hear over the next 2 hours represent the views of Extempo Radio and the people making them. All opinions and quotations in no way represent Riverwest Radio and are the sole responsibility of the producers, guests, and callers. Riverwest Radio is not liable for any legal issues arising from the content of this program.
I was waiting.
That is the sum total of Jason Evans' contribution to the program this evening.
I didn't burp. He did. He did it, man.
I know. I'm sorry.
on.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I didn't mean to.
I farted. What are you talking about?
Let's have a farting contest on the radio.
Oh,
That'd
yeah,
be great.
let's.
You know, I didn't
Let's.
prepare. I
Classic.
didn't prepare.
That'll be great.
I'm not ready.
Not this
Well,
week.
tonight
We'll go for
on
it next week.
tonight on Extempo Radio, coming up about 10 minutes, we've got regional booker of the decade. We've got I don't know, has he ever won that title? Is that a title you can win? We've got Eric Yoder coming on the program tonight about 7:15. We've got H.D. Reeves calling in from St. Louis, and we might also have Dog Danley calling in from Chicago, Illinois. So it's going to be a packed-in night tonight. It's kind of crazy. And right now, our good friend Kristen Peterson just stopped up here. She's across the street shooting Mediocrity. That is amazing. Doing heavy work, hard work today. You're double duty. You're doing behind-the-scenes stuff and you're bartending, I understand. That is awesome.
Wow, you're talented.
Yes. And you're getting drunk simultaneously.
Vodka with pink food coloring that we have.
It's vodka with pink food coloring because you didn't want to splurge on the cranberry juice. We just thought we'd bring in the vodka.
$10.
There you
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Good times.
Wow. Even the cheapest vodka you could find. Filmmaking is expensive, hard work, people. We can't splurge on Grey Goose unless we could get like Grey Goose sponsorship. That'd be great.
Wish.
Yeah.
Little 3 Olive action, little rehorsed.
Love
That'd be
that.
awesome.
A little
I
what?
hope they're listening, right?
Rehorsed vodka.
Oh, rehorse.
Rehorsed.
course.
The Milwaukee branded, produced, and created vodka. So anyway, just wanted to say hello. I didn't think we were going to get on the air before we got your attention. So me and this guy want to talk to you about some things.
Things.
So we should talk some things. So when you have a free minute one of these days, we should grab a lunch or a breakfast or a coffee or something and do some
Absolutely.
talking. So
How about
Huh?
I've seen you. You're funny.
he is
Thank
funny.
you very much. Thank
He
you.
is funny.
Awesome. I've
So
been seen.
we've got we've got
I've seen you too.
notice she didn't say I was funny?
She didn't get to it yet. You interrupted
I
her,
was making
man.
my rounds.
there you go.
I won't compliment you though.
Thanks. Don't do that.
Nobody does anyway. So
No.
why
Yeah.
start now?
You have to shoot in converts.
You rock on.
Have a good one.
It's Kristen Peterson
Great.
dropping by the
Nice seeing
program
you.
tonight.
She's got really beautiful eyes.
She
Yeah,
does.
absolutely.
She does.
Very beautiful eyes.
I'm to understand it's not her real hair color, but
So why'd you have to mention that? That's kind of rude. Why did you have to even
but
go
it-
there?
it's still gorgeous.
Well, okay.
She's
All right.
picked an appropriate color
Didn't you once bitch me out about
For her
doing
eyes.
shock radio?
for her eyes.
Because it was jumping on
Was
somebody
that
with...
was that shock radio?
Well, you're just calling her out on her hair dye
Yeah,
job,
man.
and I can't bring up a coma that a girl's been in, but you can just go ahead and say she dyes her hair.
He's right, man. You can't like give
You're a
away women's
hypocrite,
secrets
man.
like that, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, you really? Is this how it is?
Absolutely.
Now I
Just
know where
hog
the
man,
you
it's
see the
fine.
hierarchy here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fine,
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. Fine.
Everybody's taking. Jeez, man.
He just took my coat.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So, hey, cats. A couple of brief minutes here before we get on the air with Eric Yoder. So give us a call at 935-2951. That's 414-935-2951. If you've got something to add about the IRS. We're going to start off with the IRS tonight. We're probably going to break this chat up a bunch of times once we get people on the air. But we were talking about disbanding the IRS and how that would be great for the country, for people. I don't know. I'm going to try and check some data.
Data. He's all trying to sound professional. We're going to check data. Let me press buttons. How are my microphone levels? Let's... FCC.
It is shocking
Disclaimers.
Disclaimer.
how you pretend to be out of the loop and yet you're completely totally in the loop.
Huh?
I just find it you're totally connected to the universe, and I love how you pretend to be totally disconnected from the universe.
Are you off the grid, Lambton?
How am I connected and disconnected?
Are you off the grid?
It must
Well,
be.
you've got videos that you have online. You do online productions that you post to YouTube. You have websites. You are literally holding your phone at the ready to text somebody when Ronkowski texts you from where, Texas, and no, what's his name? What's the dude? Anyway.
Oh, Dan.
Dan. So you're at the ready, technologically speaking, and you're giving me.
Technologically speaking, with my cricket phone, I'm
Yes, hey,
a
man.
pioneer.
Yeah.
You are a pioneer, man. You're rocking that cricket,
I
man.
am rocking the cricket. Did you know that crickets commit suicide? I just heard this fact the other day on radio.
Really?
Yes,
Crickets commit suicide.
crickets commit suicide. Well, they don't hang themselves or slit them wrists in a warm bathtub kind of suicide, but they engage in self-destructive
Oh, thank you,
suicidal
sir.
behavior, and they're one of the very few animals and insects that do so.
Wow.
That they actually have the capacity to apparently feel depression
That's
and
disturbing.
off themselves. Yeah,
What's depressing to a
to a cricket.
to a cricket?
Maybe they don't
what's
chirp
de-
anymore.
what's
Maybe they're getting on
depressing?
in their years and
Yeah.
they can't.
Could it be one of those things where it's like a
maybe-
and they throw a they pull a hammy,
Maybe it's
and they
a
can't make
legless,
the noise
maybe
anymore,
it's a
so they can't
legless
get laid
cricket,
anymore.
and he
Or
don't
maybe
think
some
he's-
deranged
Oh,
brat pulls her legs
What
off.
if it
Right,
is some
right,
kid who
legless
pulls like
cricket,
one
you can't-
leg off, and then they're like they can't squeak and they can't get laid? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel bad for crickets.
There's no
I'd like to see
there's no
cricket
Viagra
sex.
for crickets, man.
Do you know this for a fact?
You don't know?
No,
There's
I do not.
Viagra is
Okay.
based
I do not.
off of a natural herb, so maybe they know what the herb is. Maybe the crickets
you?
can. I don't know.
On that
don't know
program,
either.
I also learned that birds eat berries that they know are bad for them, and it gives them a drunken feeling, and they end up flying around in a drunken stupor, crashing
Imagine
into
how
things.
great that would be. Oh,
That's
just to
awesome.
be able to fly and then knowingly eat something that's going to make you just crash and burn like that. That's.
Yeah, because none of us have ever done that. Like
Is that when they?
anything
Is that
in
when
our
they,
life?
Is that when they fly into your window?
A lot of the times, yeah, they're saying that a lot of the birds that will fly into your window are actually like in a form of drunken.
I don't know that I'm.
That's
buying that one.
great.
It was on Coast to Coast with Art Bell's.
I was just going to say.
I
I'm
love
just
that.
wondering. Well,
Right.
it's not Art Bell anymore.
No, it's George
Norrie now.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also the same program, the same animal expert who said that there are obese animals and they're obese because they engage in the same activities. They're obese just the reason that human beings are obese. So
Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty informative.
pigs are anorexic. No, pigs are bulimic. Pigs will gorge and then purposely puke.
Really?
And then there's an anorexic animal.
They're anorexic,
Yeah, there's
or they just gorge and puke because they gorge.
pigs are bulimic, and there was I can't remember now which animal was anorexic.
Well, isn't
it
that what
wouldn't eat,
bulimia
so it's-
is? You gorge and then you stick something. down before you-
Anorexia is not eating. You don't eat.
You know what we should do next time?
Bulimia is binging and purging.
You know what we should do next time? When you shout out a subject, we should play it as a game on how far off we can get from the subject and how fast we could possibly do it. Like this, I would say was lightning fast. Lightning.
Yes, it was.
Lightning fast.
Yeah, we started on the
Yeah.
IRS and now we're talking about
Yeah, there'd be three
binging,
phases.
purging
Pigs.
pigs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
freaking great.
amazing. And where does that connection come in? I'd love to see that. That connection
Well, here's the
on a
connection.
chart.
Here's the connection.
Cricket. It started with a cricket.
That's right. And
It started with my cricket phone about technology.
and that's great that we've now
Association.
retraced the last 3 minutes. But here's how you tie
seemed like
bulimic
20.
pigs to the IRS. The IRS costs approximately $11 billion a year. So we simply, right off the bat, save at least half of that by eliminating the IRS and going to a consumption tax. So if you spend money on anything, you pay a tax on it.
Don't you already
but
pay
you
a
get
tax
all
on
your-
anything that you buy called sales tax?
That's a state tax. This would be
Still a
federal.
sales tax.
That's a state sales tax, correct. This would be a federal tax. But so many things would be excluded, like staples. Any and all food would be excluded. Your rent would be excluded because that's what you need to live. But cars...
Staples?
Yes. Every
Staples,
morning I
as
need a
in-
cigarette, a bottle of Mountain Dew, and 3 Staples. Otherwise, I cannot function, man. I just can't.
I was unaware of the staple.
My staple
facts to
habit
live.
has gotten so bad. I'm up
I
to
don't
paper
think
clips
that's in
and
the,
rubber bands.
I didn't
mental
think-
midgetry with
I did
which
not
I
think that
perform
was
this
in
show
the,
every
the,
week.
the health pyramid. I didn't see it there.
Midgetry.
It's in the revised version
Oh,
that they just put out.
okay. It was at a fiber.
How quick did we get off on subject again?
I just
About
asked.
12 and a half seconds.
All I did was
Well,
ask a
right.
simple question. That's
This
all
is
I
the
did.
equivalent of our thermometer countdown.
12 and a
12 and a half seconds.
seconds.
Yes, I'm doing month-old callbacks.
It's awesome. That's awesome. Most people are following the show by listening to the first 3 episodes, the last 3 episodes that we performed as they
Great.
lead into this episode.
Most people are listening to the show going, why am I listening to this show?
Absolutely,
right.
which is
What
fine.
point of my life led me to this?
How come the IRS is discounting staples?
These
now? I don't
crickets are onto
understand.
something. How do you
Yeah.
do something? The crickets must listen to these
Thought
tools
provoking.
on Monday nights. That's why they're offing themselves in mass droves. It'd be like, I wonder if crickets have cults.
Talk about crickets.
That'd be
Well, yeah,
awesome.
they
A
do. It's,
cricket
yeah,
cult.
it's called a plague, man.
That's locust. I don't think there was a plague of crickets in the Bible. And God said, "Let there be crickets." I'm pretty
sorry,
sure
man.
it's locusts.
I mean, they're like cousins, though, right?
I do not know. I do not know.
Look that up,
entomology.
O'Day.
why don't
You're
you
not doing
Google
nothing over there.
that? You're just pretending to punch buttons. And... Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
look at that! Look at that, man.
He's playing a live performance from my show.
There you
last
go.
week.
That's right. Thank you very much. That's exactly where I was going with that.
Great.
That is exactly where I was going with that. Yeah, that's it. That is it.
Yeah, we why don't we say how we're going to rename the show Awkward Silence?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
We don't know why.
I have something to add that has nothing to do with the IRS. Thanks for all your respect and wonderful.
Oh, does it feel bad?
No, yeah, you
I'm
hurt my feelings,
sorry.
man.
I'm sorry.
I'd rather hear the drum.
The rim shot.
Yeah, the rim shot.
Yeah, where's that at? So what do you have to add that has nothing to do with crickets?
I was
the
at.
IRS?
It's just a story. You want to hear a story?
Hell yeah, let's hear a story.
I was at work today, and they have camp there. So there's like 10-year-old kids running around and stuff. And I saw this 10-year-old boy, and he was wearing an AC/DC T-shirt.
Cool.
Awesome, right?
Right.
So I gave him the devil horns, you know. Like, what's up, kid?
Okay.
Right?
I thought we were going in a Michael Jackson direction on this one.
No, he gave them to me back. He's like, and I almost cried, man. I was really touched. I was touched that rock and roll is not dead with the younger youth. It's not a joke. I'm serious.
That's what gets you to cry?
Oh.
Absolutely,
That's
man.
the devil horns from a 10-year-old in an AC/DC shirt makes you cry?
I sobbed like a little girl.
Wow.
Wearing balloons on
We're
my
getting the
nose.
text coming in. It might
From
be my
Eric
drug
Yoder?
dealer. No, I don't know.
From Eric Yoder.
Could be.
I'm checking
It
my
is.
phone also, and I'm not.
Can't make the show tonight, guys. Sorry. Thought I'd let you know.
Just tried calling that number and it said something about a boo something and something video a boo.
Did you give him the 935-2951 number? Or did you give him the other number?
935-2951.
414.
Jesus Christ.
Blasphemy.
Yes.
Is there something that's is there cutting it or what's going on? I mean,
I don't
A
know.
lady just biked by,
right now.
and she was wearing one of those babushkas, and she wasn't of age.
And she wasn't of age.
No, she was very young.
okay, we're gonna do a text call in. Well, we're getting.
I hear phone.
It's showing up.
This is amazing.
Yeah, it's coming through on the line.
Well, coming through on ours. I don't know if Eric is tuned in, but
The lights just went out. Oh, they're there. Okay, good. Are you hitting the right button?
Hello? Can you hear me coming through here?
creepy.
Yeah, that is creepy, man.
Sweet. Keep that going. Hello, Dr. Demento. You're on the air. I'm going to the Ted Nugent concert, man. I'm taking me some acid.
Wow, that is
and I'm
really psychotic.
You're
I'm
on the-
actually running that through here through the phone. So I'm dropping.
You're on the Pink Floyd section of the show.
Can you call the
Oh, is this
number
where
on
we
your
all fall
phone,
asleep?
Since I'm using my phone for part of the show.
I
But
could totally
actually,
do that
don't
for
call
you.
it. Like, let him try to call.
Okay, so don't.
There he is. All right, hey, we're going to take this call from Eric Yoder.
All right.
Hey, is this Eric Yoder?
Certainly is.
Hey, how's it going, Eric Yoder?
Hey, not too bad. How about you?
I'm loving life, man. This is Brendan O'Day here at Extemper Radio and on riverwestradio.com. We are on the interwebs right now, and we'll be going full FM here hopefully in about 2 months. But we're archiving these great shows, and on the radio, on the air here with me is our good friend Jeff Lampton.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Jeff. How you doing?
You know, it's pretty funny you had said something about a boo in your text message, because we actually have a friend named the Boo. Who comes
Yeah,
on-
that's what the answering machine said. Something a boo and something video and come on down and you'll have a good time or something.
That's so weird.
A Boo is taking over that world, that Palestinian bastard. I told you it's a terrorist plot.
Yeah, it is. It's all-
He starts with the video stores. Next thing you know, he's going to be taking over.
When McDonald's starts serving falafels, you know we're all in trouble.
We are.
That's when it really kind of falls
Absolutely.
apart. Also joining us on the air here, Eric, is Jason Evans from mkefunny.com. It's the premier comedy web information source here in the southeastern part of Wisconsin.
How you doing, Eric?
Very nice. How are you? Yeah, I've come across that online a few times.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Yeah. Awesome.
So what's new and exciting in the world of comedy development in the last, 3.5 days, Eric?
In the last 3.5 days, well, I was just down in Chattanooga at our club, Vaudeville Cafe. They had Funniest Mouth of the South last week was the contest they had going on. Really good show. I just flew down for one night to judge the finals. That was good.
Who won that?
Funny enough, a guy out of Michigan won that. I didn't know he was out of Michigan, but
Rigged. Rigged.
Yeah, right, rigged,
know.
exactly.
Did he
Hey,
drive
hey.
down with you and pay for the gas?
I slept in the back of his car, actually.
Yeah. Hey, we got to do what we got to do in comedy.
Maybe we should give a little background on funny business before we.
Yeah, before we start just tearing everything down here. So what's your current role within the context of funny business? Because this is really one of the longest-standing family-run businesses in comedy.
Yeah, I handle kind of the comedy club booking wing of the business. My older brother Jameson handles most of our college and some of our corporate accounts. My younger brother Michael does a lot of our internet marketing, our social networking, kind of new club development stuff. And my dad, of course, kind of oversees everything. So yeah, we're both my brothers and my dad are basically our whole family's a part of the business.
How many Yoder brothers are there involved? I mean, are you guys like the Wayans brothers of the comedy booking world? Like every.
I'm the middle one, and Jameson, my older brother, and Michael, my younger brother. So three of us.
So the three of you. And what happened to Colo? Colo used to treat me pretty good. What?
Oh yeah, Mark.
Wow, we just want to get this on the
I
record
don't.
that somebody
I treat you
treated.
horribly.
What's that?
Because I treat you horribly. Is that what you're?
No. Well, I haven't really since our fallout almost exactly 3 years ago. I didn't really deal with you.
But who's counting?
For the years prior, I'd always dealt with Colo, and Colo was like such a great guy.
Yeah.
And he like, it just seemed like he fell off the face of the planet, and I was just wondering what happened to him,
Well, there was a period of time where, when I first started coming in, like I've always kind of been part of the business as far as, like I used to pull the headshot bio packets to send to the clubs way back when. I've been around it, kind of the business my whole life. But when I started stepping in more and I was doing a lot of the club lead stuff, because our club business was kind of slowing down a bit. So I came in to start helping with, doing cold calls and that kind of stuff. And my dad was being able to handle a lot of the booking at that point on his own. So it was kind of, it wasn't really necessary to have an extra person in there. And, he ended up, that was basically the reason why we just didn't need the extra person. And slowly as things started picking up and I was doing more of the club sales stuff, eventually I kind of started helping my dad out with the booking, and then we picked up a lot after that in the next year, and I just kind of started to do all of it, kind of learning throughout the 2-year period. So.
Oh, I see. I'd like to talk to Colo again after and just say thanks, for everything you did for me,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you guys,
guy. I mean,
your dad.
He was like part of our family, I grew up around him. He was with us forever.
So he's not like in a crawl space somewhere that. Like
no, he's not buried in our backyard or anything.
Wow.
That sounds
Thank
kind
goodness
of
for that.
Is that the only other option? Jeez.
Nope. Not the other, right?
So there's a lot of confusion here in Wisconsin, and we always like to get the word out officially whenever we can. The Venture Theater in Green Bay, just for absolute clarity's sake, the Michael Yoder that's running that is not your younger brother, nor is he part of Funny Business. That's correct, right?
That is correct. I've never myself heard of Venture.
Okay.
So is he a legitimate Yoder then, or is he just trying to tag on and
No,
kind of...
the dude's name is Michael Yoder, and he's a theater guy who on Thursday nights they run a comedy show up there, and he's really trying to get comedy established in Green Bay. Since the days of the Carlton West, they really haven't had a decent place for comedy in Green Bay in over a decade and a half, and he's trying to establish this as a place for comedy. I think he needs to have some different type of events, and actually you should call this guy and try to set up an opportunity to book there, because what he's doing right now is not going to grow his theater as a comedy venue. If you guys had some input on it, I think you could give him some real some insight, and if you guys took something like that over, I think it would have a huge impact and be a good thing. So
yeah, sure. We have so much stuff up in that area. It's always nice to be able to find some more stuff to tag on and route with.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it was just a one-nighter kind of a thing to start, ultimately turn it into bigger.
Michigan. I got a bone to pick with you about the Virgin Islands. I was I was scheduled to do the Virgin Islands in March. I was going to be doing some shows, but we couldn't promote too much because you guys were apparently just opening up a room down there at the exact same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is it you couldn't promote your thing?
We were told that we couldn't promote we had to wait on the promotions and we had to be really quiet about everything because we weren't allowed to step on. And I wasn't told it was funny business. I was just told that there's a agency that is involved in setting up a room down there. And then afterwards, then I was told it was funny business. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I thought it was pretty funny.
I don't know. It was with the club that we're booking there, or is it?
Originally, we were going to book through that club, and then all of a sudden, all of this came out, and everything had to get revamped. Cliff.
Really, I can honestly tell you, I had no idea that there was ever any other comedy. And I flew down there and I met with them and.
Yeah, we were doing independent. Like I pretty much book everything independently, and I got Cliff, Cliff. Yeah. So we were going to do that, and then he ended up getting involved with you, so I had to,
Huh.
But it's not like I'm not blaming anybody for anything. I just thought, well, that's ironically weird.
Well, a bone to pick sounds a little bit like blaming.
Yeah, no, I guess
Bone to pick sounds a little bit like you've got a problem. But no, I had no idea. They said that there was no comedy going on, and this was their first. They wanted to get something going because there wasn't anything going on.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
We were gonna do St. John, St. Croix, and St. Thomas. We're gonna boom, 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 and it all turned out to be the same damn week that you guys opened up that room.
Well, and I think that's interesting that it's almost like the old argument about joke stealing, is that an idea will get out into the public consciousness and someone will say, "Hey, you stole my joke, man," and it's just because it's kind of a common idea. A friend of ours left Milwaukee, moved to St. Thomas about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago now, and after about 6 months decided, hey, there's no comedy here. I should start doing some comedy. And he is starting to do some down there. He's got a regular room working now. And it's had some pretty decent acts in. And Jeff was one of those that had come down to do the show. And now...
Actually, he's booking Cliff down there. He has Cliff in on the shows.
What's that? You're booking Cliff Bear?
No, I don't know who Cliff is.
Oh, I thought you were booking Cliff for those rooms, to host the rooms. Maybe.
Oh, no. I mean, we're not doing the host. We're just booking their headliner and feature. But there was a guy, I know that there was a guy I met while I was down there that was a local comic, and he did some shows, I guess, at a theater there or something.
That's Cliff Bear. That's the buddy of ours. So he's from Milwaukee
I didn't
originally.
remember his name.
Yeah, he's from Milwaukee originally. But so how's that working out for you guys down there, booking into that area? Have you been getting good response from the clubs? Are they happy with everything? Or?
Oh, yeah. They've done fantastic. They just pack out the place. It's called Stars Nightclub. It's a brand new venue they just opened up. The guy that owns a couple restaurants. It's attached to a small casino there. Really nice room, state-of-the-art stuff. And yeah, they do one weekend a month. Yeah, awesome. Usually the first weekend of the month they've been doing so. But it's been doing great for them, and they love it there. And they said the locals and people have just been eating it up and loving it. So
sweet.
Well, that's outstanding. I like the sunny weather, and I'm available as a pretty good.
Yeah, really nice. No, it's
not bad down there.
How about you buy a ticket and fly down there, Brendan?
Go for it, man.
I just want you to know how much of a supporter of Funny Business I am. When you look back on this and you see this online, and you download our show or you watch back on the Ustream feed, or if you tune into the Ustream feed now, you notice I've been putting up a certain a little sign here every 2.5-3 minutes to remind my co-host, Mr. Lampton, of a certain admonition, so you can watch that.
I'm being told to behave.
Hold on, I can watch you guys online right now.
You could go to riverwestradio.com and watch this, and just keep your volume down. Just listen to it through
We don't
the phone.
recommend it though at all.
It's an absolute thrill to watch it online. Looks like I'm sitting on at my breakfast table with little piece of crappy artwork behind me, and my laptop sitting in front of me.
I feel like I'm right there with you.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, now there's an ad.
Yeah, there's
There's an ad every now and again that pops up. That is true.
Gotta pay the bills.
It depends on how good we are. If we retain audience, the ads don't pop up. If you lose an audience share, then another. No, I have no idea how this works. But recently you'd done. I've done a couple of rooms, actually hosting in front of a couple of your guys. You had Nate Ford and Dwight York. Working through Milwaukee back a few months ago, and that's something that we seem to get some good reaction from. Is how do you feel about having an official host ahead of your features and headliners? Is that something that Funny Business, endorses, thinks is a good idea, or do you think that new model of headliners basically acting as the host for the evening is becoming the standard model?
I hope it's not. I certainly would prefer that every venue had a good, solid host and MC to keep the show moving along and be able to warm up before the feature goes on, so they're not having to assume that responsibility. I've seen the headliner situation you're saying where they go up and do the hosting thing, and I feel like it kind of, I don't like the flow of that as much, unless it's like a long showcase show, or
sure,
like they do in New York with 10-minute spots. If the guy that closes it out hosts it too, that's different. But I'm still very partial to the 3-act show, MC feature headliner myself.
Well,
so yeah, I mean, we always try when we start out the room, especially these one-nighter rooms. We always say, if you can find local comics or, wanted some stage time or have some experience, and you can get, or, even somebody that works regularly but is able to come in sometimes and rotate being an MC that has experience, it's going to make the show all that much better. I just think it always flows better to have a good MC or a host of some type up front.
Well, I'm going to be officially quoting you. I actually ran. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't run a second recorder. No, look, this is what this guy said.
Could I actually ask a few questions? Is that all right? Just joking.
Yeah,
I was gonna. Never mind. It's a callback to a conversation in the apartment before.
Oh, great.
What is your take right now on the comedy scene as opposed to? I mean, just in the 9 years that I've been doing comedy scene, it has gone through so many transformations already. Yeah. Like, where do you think we're at right now? Do you think we're cresting out, or are we going to hit another boom soon, or?
Well, I mean, I think it's hard to say, because I think as far as I've known about anything in the comedy scene, it's always been up and down. It's always been everybody's saying, "Oh, it's the next boom," and then if things are picking up and slow down a little bit, everyone's like, "Oh, we're on the decline. Comedy club business is going to be gone forever. It's dying," and then before long it starts doing well again. It's kind of always been up and down. I think I've been doing the booking and of really booking the clubs and stuff probably in the last 5-6 years. And I've seen it go from kind of up to down to back up, and I think it's always going to be like that. It always just depends on so many different factors, but I don't see the comedy club business ever dying out or being done anytime soon. I think the internet and all the content, YouTube and all that stuff has definitely impacted things, but I think the idea of going to a live comedy show and seeing live stand-up is something that you can't compare to watching some YouTube clips or Comedy Central special. And I think people kind of know that somewhere. And once they go out, it keeps fans. So it's hard to say. A lot of people are saying, the internet is transitioning everything to, who can get the most views on this or that. But I don't think it's ever going to replace live stand-up comedy. I hope not. Nice picture up there, by the way.
There we go. And of course, is
I can't really see that. What is
that's
it? That's
our guest Eric Yoder with Doug Stanhope. Doug Stanhope, of course, sucking a consummate amount of alcohol in the process.
Oh, that's not a euphemism.
I do have kind of a weird "I've been drinking" face going on in that picture.
And actually, if you look, the Bud Light halo just above your head there, I don't know what subliminal message you were trying to send, but using alcohol to try and imply that you're He's just the most angelic young boy at the party. I think that's not. I don't know what's going. Anyway, no, I think and I think Stanhope's got D'Addario guitar strings on his hat, but that doesn't make any sense.
A tone-deaf douchebag.
That guy is
a
a talentless guy. Has no musical sense about him at all. But over here,
Nobody
that's where did I lose you there? There's Jason Evans from MKE Funny. So we'll get everybody's face up on screen. I'm going to make you look at Lambton now for a little while.
Don't do that to him.
But
Why would you want to do that to him?
yeah, we're literally in the storefront of Riverwest Film and Video. The owner here is just a hell of a guy that really likes this free radio concept, and they're working hard on getting a low power FM transmitter. That'll get us to about 55, maybe 70,000 people here in the Milwaukee area. So ultimately, this will become something viable. But we've been having a nice time with this. We've got any number of regional headliners and national headliners that pop on the show for us and help us out, and just stop in. It looks like we're going to be making Mike Merrifield kind of a regular feature, about once a month, call in from the road.
Well, I didn't. One of the reasons I want to have Eric on today is not because for the established comics, but for the up-and-comers.
Absolutely.
That so we can get that right from the horse's mouth on what they need to do to be more professional about booking. And even when you start getting into the feature level and you start playing the clubs, I think maybe Eric can help stress this to these comics that just because you book them, they're in the club, doesn't mean that they don't have to promote themselves. Once they're out there, they still should do their best to promote their appearances at the comedy clubs, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think he's talking to you, Eric.
You're not talking to me? Is that what you said?
No, I said I think he's talking to you. I didn't know exactly where Jeff was going with that.
Oh, I got you. Well, I mean, I think as far as that goes, it's just, I think every comic could agree that you're going to have a better show the larger audience you have, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, so ideally you want to have as many people as you can see, so it just seems logical. Of course, you want to promote yourself naturally, so why not help promote the venue and the other acts on the bill and get as many people as you can and to keep the venue that's giving you work running and, get more people to see you. I mean, it just seems like
that makes
want
sense.
to do that.
If you are a comic starting out and you do have a feature, you feel you have a pretty strong feature set, how would one get in touch with you to show you a video or want to get hooked up with Funny Business Agency? How does that work, Eric?
Well, I mean, we basically just have them submit. We do have a link that we send out as like a general. If somebody shoots me an email says, "Hey, I'm an act out of here, out of Chicago, and I'm trying to get into featuring," I'll say, here's a link to our submission page, and it kind of lays it out for you what we want. Basically, probably the most important few things that I want to see is I want to see a good chunk of time set, a 10, 15-minute clip with good quality where I can really see a chunk of your act, not just a rooftop comedy clip that's too much long. I want to be able to watch it a bit, and I'm not saying I'll always watch it straight through. I might skim through here and there, but I want to be able to see kind of a decent amount of chunk of your stuff, and I don't want it to be where I can't see your facial expressions or there's somebody talking all loud right next to the camera.
Yeah.
I want to be able to
nice quality piece.
Right, and a lot of guys use those rooftop clips as a submission, which is kind of like, I can't tell your one bit you just did. I can't tell what your act's like.
Yeah.
The other thing is references. If you're looking to feature, I should assume that you've been open micing or hosting at a local club of some kind. So being able to say, hey, this manager at this club or this booker from this club, has seen me perform and vouch for me with. And having references like that, or even comedians that we work with regularly. There's some, I don't necessarily just go and trust every comic reference, but, if they're guys who work for a long time that have referred other acts, that are good, then I like that. Because I can say, okay, well, he's worked for us a long time. He's given us names for other good acts. And having a list of, hey, I've worked this place. I've been performing feature sets. I can say we're not necessarily an agency that's going to be the first people to feature you.
Right, you guys are very tough to get into because you guys are pretty. You want the highest quality you can possibly get.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, we want when we want to book professionals. I mean, we want professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's not saying we don't give people chances and we don't, want to find the newest faces out there, because I mean, we really do. I go to almost every major festival that there is, and I go to our club for their kind of regional competitions and stuff, like I was saying about Chattanooga. So I do want to find new faces, but I'm not necessarily going to be the first person to put you on an A-room stage and
absolutely, I understand.
That risk, unless I've really seen it for myself.
Yeah. Do you ever make it up here personally to Milwaukee much?
It's been a long time. I went up there, it must have been last time was probably like 5 years ago since I've been up there. I was up in Madison.
Okay.
I went to Just for Laughs in Chicago about a month ago, and then
I saw that.
I went to Comedy Club on State on that Saturday to stop in there and say hi to Even Gus and the owners there. So.
Gus is still probably one of the nicest club owners that you're ever going to meet. You piss him off, he gets pissed, but then within 5 minutes he's back to normal and he's still, you're great, dude. You have a drink.
Right. Well, he's a businessman. He's definitely got that businessman about him, but he certainly is a really nice guy. He's a down-to-earth guy.
Who was at State Street when you were there?
Cy Edmondson and Mike Brody were there.
All right. We could. I asked you if we could talk about Tommy Johnigan, and I personally think that Tommy Johnigan is one of the best mechanical comics to come out. I'm rambling here, but he's such a nuts and bolts craftsman, and he is unbelievably dedicated and professional. And I think that more comics need to start taking after his work ethic. You guys started booking Tommy pretty early into his career, and now he is up there. He won he's second place in the last comic standing. I think he's being represented by ICM right now. He was on the last comic standing tour. He's live at Gotham, of course, a handful of Letterman appearances.
Wow.
He's just how do you get it across to these comics that that you just don't show up at an open mic and you're gonna be rich and famous? That you gotta work. Did you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's because I think a lot of the problems come from actually Tommy's with APA.
Oh, is he with APA?
Yeah, another big agency.
I thought
he treats it like a business. He treats it like a 9-to-5 job. He doesn't just go perform and then do some writing on the weekdays. Like he works hard to promote himself and to really push himself to the next level. When he was at the I think it must have been he started with us probably 2000 early 2000s, and he was one that was consistent about kind of building his brand and staying on top of. He was methodical about it.
Right.
Like you said, nuts and bolts. Like he's very methodical about getting in touch with bookers and clubs, following up. I'm sure he had like a notepad of like, call this person this day, and this person said to check in this day, and he did it.
Yeah.
He was consistent about it, and he spent the time to where he was balancing the right amount of doing the business end of it and also working on his act. I mean, if you've seen his stuff over in the last couple of years, it's just he always has new material. He pumps it out well, and he refines it quickly. And that's the biggest problem with a lot of comics is they don't balance the business end of it with. They either think I just need to totally work on my act and the business will come. And there's even, there's established comedians out there that say that's the way to do it. I don't see it as much anymore as maybe it used to be, where you focus on just being an amazing comic and everything will come to you anymore. There's it's not as easy to do that as maybe it was 10 years ago.
Right, because there was so much back then when you could get on Carson, and if you got on Carson, you were set.
Yeah.
They don't have that now because everybody has a video out on YouTube. They got 3 different late night shows. They got everything, and it doesn't matter anymore. So you have to get out there, and you have to really be your own.
You almost have to create your own demand, and really just be working that hard all the time. Hey, Eric, Brendan here. Just is it today? Is it an even mix of you promoting a certain comic to the club, or are the clubs calling you, requesting specific people? How does that part of the universe function in this day and age, where you're booking people for their club, but are you getting specific requests for people beyond the big name, the Carlos Mencia type roundabout tours and things like that? Do you get?
How does that go? Yes, can you send us a headliner that steals everybody else's material, please?
No, my point is that
sure.
Obviously those are those showcase position type things. But Josh Sneed was just here at Comedy Cafe in Milwaukee, and he's a guy who he's a hard-working guy, keeps working the name club circuit. Does that come more from the clubs or more from you guys? Who's dictating what these days?
Well, I think it's different for every club and every kind of market. Madison, for instance, they're very hands-on. They go to festivals themselves. We have discussions about acts that they want to be a part of all the bookings. So they have requests for acts, and they ask us about certain acts, and we look into them further, and we go back and forth and kind of decide that way. Some clubs, want to get ideas of acts, and we kind of do it in that manner. Other ones that we booked for a long time, that we have long histories with that aren't as hands-on and are just kind of let us trust our judgment, are ones where we want to develop acts, and so they do get a following. Maybe people don't know this name, but if we kind of develop them in that market, then they will become a name.
Interesting.
And maybe they won't ever be a name in every major city in the country. But in Lansing, Michigan, if we bring them back consistently and we have the faith and how strong of an act they are, they can start to develop a following without necessarily being a big household name. So
sure.
Do you find yourselves doing that a lot lately, or?
For some rooms, it really depends. I do try to focus on the ones where they say, hey, this act was phenomenal, got a standing O. Maybe not a big name at all or anything, but we'll bring them back again and try to get them developed in that market where people will know who he is when they come back, and then be like, we're definitely going to see this guy. So we do. We do try to do that.
I like that you support local scenes like that. That's a really cool thing to do.
So when you pull a guy like Madison, I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry about that.
I was going to say it's tough. Like there's so many comedians and not as many clubs as there were anymore. So it's and like I said, I go to all these festivals and find meet all these acts and stuff, and it's like unless somebody really helps to try to give them the time of day and help give them an opportunity, they're not going to get a lot. And it's not like we dabble in a little bit of TV stuff. We submit for some TV things, but we're not the Comedy Central people. We don't decide who goes on TV or anything like that. So it's not that we can make or break someone's career, but we certainly want to help people that we've grown to kind of understand their comedy and have faith in, and want to be able to help them. So we do what we can on our level, on the comedy club level.
So you take a club like Madison, who just had Brendan Walsh in from L.A. Is that something you have set up, or is that something they went outside to bring a guy like Brendan in, and then do you offer up a feature, or how does something like that play now that he's gotten some traction beyond? He's more of a national headliner now. How does that work out?
Well, we book all their acts.
Oh, okay.
So they book their MCs and. They run their open mics, they book their own MCs. A lot of the times they kind of start grooming their MCs into features, and then they kind of let us know if they want to have them feature and stuff. And they're phenomenal judges at comedy. They really know comedy is great. But, we book all their acts. So basically, Brendan Walsh was a suggestion of mine. that I brought to them, and they, they were familiar, and we talked them over and said, hey, this would be a good week, let's get them in there. So, I mean, if you look at their schedule, the same with like Kyle Kinane and Michael Costa and all them, a lot of those guys have worked with, there's kind of the big 5-6 agencies, out of LA and New York that rep a lot of the Brendan Walsh all the way up to the Brad Pitt, and they handle a lot of talent all the way from comedy to acting to music. But so we have relationships with these agencies that span back to when my dad started, and 25, 30 years ago. So they basically, we deal with the offers and the contracts and all that, and kind of handle that end of it so they don't have to, because they got enough going on trying to run and promote a club,
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of what our job is as bookers, is to be able to handle that end of it. So yeah, we definitely book all their acts, and we kind of bring ideas to them for certain shows, and other ones they just kind of say, hey, we're looking to fill these weeks. We don't necessarily need anyone special, but let's get us who you can, So.
Yeah.
Who are some of the biggest names that you guys booked back in the day when they were still nobodies? Do you remember that far back? Or?
I don't necessarily, because I wasn't booking that far back, but I know, I know Bill Hicks went and did our Grand Rapids club before it was Dr. Grin's, when, what was it called over there? I can't remember the name of the club now, but there's a small club over there, and I remember because Bill Hicks, in his biography, they mentioned my dad in it, because there's something about him throwing beer bottles up on the roof.
Up on the roof, right. I remember reading that.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, there's something about that, and how they called John Yoder, and he was mad because his club was so pissed or something. But yeah, I mean, there's all those guys, did all the club, like this is Jay Leno and Tim Allen in the Michigan area, or Tim Allen.
Yeah,
being out of
Detroit.
Michigan, he used to do all the clubs when he was starting out and stuff. So I mean, back in those days, it was Lisa Lampanelli. I think I was telling you the other day, she featured for us.
Right, she got a C. She got a bad grade on her.
I wasn't real fond of her back then, but she maybe didn't have the power to be as crude and offensive as she does now.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just learned how to take that big black, to take that hobby and turn it into a professional opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never met her, so I can't say anything. I only know her from what I see on stage, so I can't judge her personally.
We've got a few more minutes here, leading up to 8 o'clock here, Eric. I hope you can see what I'm showing you here. So is this like the backup plan if this whole comedy thing if America just finally says we've had enough of these idiot comics and we're not buying their crap anymore? Is this your sideline? Are you ready to jump the ship here and just start booking yourself a bunch of bar gigs for bands? I mean, is this your backup
I've been
plan?
lining them up. 5 years from now, I've got them all set up.
There we go.
I haven't seen you posting much of your new music on your Facebook lately. Have you been doing that as much?
Yeah, I've been working on it. I upgraded a lot of my recording software, and I've been trying to learn Ableton Live, which is a beast of a recording software. And I really, because a lot of my stuff was just dabbling, very kind of simple stuff, and so now I'm trying to focus on really learning the ins and outs before I start putting out a whole lot of more stuff. I've got a few things I've just been kind of editing and stuff, but I went to school for music initially, so I've always been a musician. I've always played in bands and stuff from middle school till now, and so music's a big thing on the side for me. It's certainly not a backup plan. I don't plan on Funny Business going anywhere soon, so we'll be around for a while.
So you're still kind of bitter that you weren't able to follow that dream, and you've been stuck slaving away in the family business with no recognition and no appreciation. That's really what you're saying here.
Deal with all these douchebag comics.
If I could just be playing my damn music, I'd be happy.
Who cares if they don't have Budweiser? Tell your damn jokes, asshole. It's your job.
I'm really not. I love working with my family, actually. I thought my dad never brought up trying to get us and my brothers into the business. He always wanted us to do our own thing. So, but when it came time after I kind of wrapped school and moved back home, I started getting more interested in it and learning more about it. And
have you always been a
I
fan of
love working
comedy,
with my friends.
Eric?
Yeah. Eric, don't bother answer questions fully.
sorry.
We'll just.
Sorry
This
about
has
that.
become a media
kidding.
fest. We're going to step over your answers.
Sorry about that, Eric. I was just curious if you always were a fan of comedy.
Yeah, no, I've always been a fan of comedy. I wasn't. I can't say that I was a real like watching stand up every night. Like I don't think on the level of most comedians where they, knew people's full sets from the age of 13 and stuff like
I
that.
used to go to bed with Eddie Murphy's Delirious under my pillow every night, listening to it. And Carlin's every night
I don't
when
think
I
I
was
was-
like 7.
I was never like that, but I always did love watching it. And my dad, when I was younger, would take us into the club every now and then, stop in because he'd go say hi to comics and watch a little stand up. And so I always enjoyed it. I don't think I could be in this business if I didn't like comedy. I mean, there's enough shitty parts of the business that are hard to do towards something you're just not that interested in. I don't think I would ever watch a single submission if I didn't like comedy a little bit.
Who's your absolutely all-time favorite comic?
Oh gosh, I don't know how to answer that. How do you answer? Who's your all-time favorite comic?
I got 3 of them. It'd be Mitch Hedberg, George
You
Carlin,
got
and
3
Sam.
of them. So.
It's actually an Eddie Murphy.
He pulls this crap all the time. He'll sit here and say, "Oh, what's your favorite sitcom?" And all of a sudden, he's got 3 from like 5 different. He doesn't ever make any commitment to anything.
The reason I wanted to become a stand-up comic was George Carlin, and then from there, I was obsessed with Eddie Murphy, Mitch Hedberg, Geraldo, and everybody else. But Carlin is the one who first got me in trouble when I was like 4 years old for saying the F word and everything like that, because I snuck down and listened to my mom's album, and from there it's been an
obsession you can't put
obsession that's cost a heavy price in my life. But
I mean, I feel like everybody's got the same grades that they like. I mean, in the business or not, but I mean, Carlin, Hedberg, big fan. Richard Pryor, I liked a ton. When I first saw him on, watched his first video, I think it was on it was on HBO or something.
Yeah.
That I saw.
It was HBO.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got Bill Hicks. I mean, I like Bill Hicks a lot. I'm not as much of a huge, massive, crazy, rabid fan as a lot of people are about his, but I think he was great too.
Yeah, I think we're running out of time, but before we do, like I said the other day, feel free to post some of your music on my Facebook page if you want, because I listen to it when you post, and I like a lot of it. It'd be great for other people to hear it too.
I'll just throw my SoundCloud link up there or something.
Oh, that's cool, man. And we really do appreciate you coming on the show tonight, giving everybody a little bit of insight into what your world is like and what they can do to better prepare themselves to just kind of get a shot and make it so you can even evaluate them. So if somebody does send you an evaluation video and I don't know, they don't hear back, they should pretty much just keep working and maybe resubmit. And how long? What's the kind of distance between submission time points?
I would just say that you got to be patient about it. We probably get 30 or 40 submissions a week sometimes.
Sure.
So it can take time to go through them. Usually I say follow up in 3 to 4 weeks if you haven't heard anything back. Usually I try to at least email them back and say, hey, it can take some time.
Sure.
Get back with me in a few weeks. If
You
haven't
didn't
heard
even
anything.
give me a courtesy follow-up email when I sent you my DVD, Eric Yoder.
All right. Here it is. You got to see this. Here's
I'm
the sign.
behaving. I'm turning over a new leaf.
There's the behave sign right there. It's right there. Behave.
But if you submit and I don't think you're ready to be working for us, or I don't feel like I could use you, I usually say that. I'll usually say,
Well, I was working for you for 4 years before I got fired.
Well, see, that'll tell you everything right there, Jeffrey. That's the way that goes. Well,
It's my
gave
fault.
up too easily. That was your fault, Jeff.
Now,
Yeah, the truth is out.
my personal responsibility for bad behavior, and I apologize for that.
Well, there you go. Hey, Eric Yoder,
You can
thank
always
you.
reach out to me.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please book Jeff Lampton so he can shut the hell up. And it's absolutely been awesome having you on tonight. We really appreciate you taking the time with us, Eric.
Yeah, thanks for coming
Thanks,
on.
Eric.
Hey, thanks guys for having me.
All right, brother. Thanks so much. That was Eric Yoder hanging in there with us tonight on Extemper Radio. Sorry about that. Got a little technical stuff. But we're going to go to break here.
Now you get this.
Here's a little bit of Bill Hicks.
Recently. I'm
UFO.
playing a town called Fife, Alabama. All right? It's right outside Sputnamburg for those of y'all who need a point of reference. All right. Anyway, I'm down there in Fife. They want me to host their annual Ricketts telethon. All right, whatever. It's great to be able to give something back. Anyway, in this town, this is absolutely true. It was in all the papers. It was on CNN. Apparently, everyone in this town saw these UFOs. Everyone in the town saw the UFOs. Police chief, mayor, they all saw the fucking UFOs, all right? And I'm curious. I asked people what it was like. Oh, man, it was incredible, incredible. People came from miles around to look at them. A lot of people came armed. Excuse me? People are bringing shotguns to UFO sightings? Don't you think there's a point where we're going to drop the fucking weapons? I mean, the mothership comes. Maybe we don't know everything. Wow. Not like some intergalactic fucking skeet shoot. There goes one out. Bringing shotguns to UFO sightings, man. It kind of brings whole new meaning to that phrase, you ain't from around here, are you, boy? Yep, they're little green people. We call them boogers. So I said to the guy, I go, why do y'all bring shotguns to UFO sightings? He said, well, we don't want to be abducted. I'm thinking, yeah, and leave all this? Dude, if I lived in this town, I'd be on my hands and knees praying for abduction every fucking day, all right? And I wouldn't be picky. Greyhound. Abduct me. I said, what do you mean abducted? He said, well, they abduct people and they perform scientific and medical experiments on them. I said, well, maybe we'll be lucky and it's some type of sterility dentistry program they got going. Maybe they come down, castrate you, straighten your teeth, and split. Sort of a clean up the universe pact. He said, huh? And I'll tell you something, too. That's starting to annoy me about UFOs. The fact that they cross galaxies or universes to visit us and always end up in places like Fife, fucking Alabama. Maybe these aren't super intelligent beings, you know what I mean? Maybe they're like hillbilly aliens. Some intergalactic Jode family or something. You know? Don't y'all want to land in New York or L.A.? Nah, we just had a long trip. We're going to kick back and whittle some. Oh my God, they're idiots. We're going to enter our mothership in the tractor pull. Last thing I want to see is a flying saucer up on blocks in front of some trailer, you know? Bumper sticker on it. They'll get my ray gun when they pry my cold dead 18-fingered hand off of it. Oh my God, we're being invaded by rednecks.
Well, there you go. That's Bill Hicks, UFO. I was waiting until you were done adjusting everything before I brought you back up here.
I fully adjusted myself.
That's awesome. Yeah, got that
with my shorts
nicotine
on.
level adjustment in. And
absolutely, I'm feeling great.
That is awesome. That is just fabulous. Hey, coming up here in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, our good friend. Unless, of course, we get a text message that says, can't make it, Mike, and too many problems. Really sorry, bro. So our 805 call-in is having some
we need some people that call in then.
With his UFO.
So where was Eric Yoder calling from?
He's in Michigan.
So Michigan, then we would have had a St. Louis call. That's cool, but that didn't work out.
Yeah, so we'll go to Chicago here. We'll go
to Chicago.
We'll get Jared Dog Danley on the
Chi-town.
line here in just a few minutes.
Rocking and rolling through the states here.
There you go.
Hey, rocking and rolling through the states.
That's it.
News and traffic.
I'm just going to send Jared Dog Danley the number. Just got a text message from HD Reeves saying he's having too many problems with his open mic. Oh, this poor bastard. He is he's a hard-working guy trying to make an open mic work in an honest fashion. He's trying to put on an honest open mic, and they just keep They just keep messing around with him. So yeah, that's what's going on. So let's get Jeff Lampton in on things here.
I'm adjusting.
You're still adjusting. Oh, darn.
Well, I got up.
Well,
There. Now I can't hear myself.
I know, because every time you are going, that's when I turn your mic down.
Make room here.
There you
It's
go.
my fault. I had to,
It's
it's
not
really
your
bad.
fault.
It's okay. It's okay.
My intelligent diabetic ass is drinking a 2-liter of Coke with my blood sugars at almost
That makes a lot of
400.
sense. I love that. You're
Awesome.
normally the guy who carries like a gallon of water with
They
you.
didn't have any cold water at the store. And then I tried to get Diet Mountain Dew, but it was expired by 3 months.
What? Was it a
Wow.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
was.
going,
By
I'm
that
not
near the
going there.
neighborhood?
What?
Did you
I'm
were
not
you
going
looking
there.
in the neighborhood here? They're
n-
famous in Riverwest for selling expired beverages.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I there's a little bodega at the corner of Locust and Holton, and I bought one of the large bottles of Snapple Arnold Palmer lemonade
Yeah.
tea mix. I'm like, oh, it's perfect. Back in the days when it was 95, 97 degrees, I'm like, oh, it's gonna feel so great, and it just tasted off, like it had absorbed too many of the PCBs out of the plastic.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm turning the bottle around, and it expired in June of 2010.
And since then, your sperm has come out autistic. It comes out,
Yeah.
it drips out all.
I don't know that my sperm was anything but autistic. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Rim shot.
But, yeah, right. No, I dumped out of the rim shot before, but
No pun intended, right? Dumped out of the rim.
just dumped right out.
We're just throwing out the. There we go, the cricket cult again going on. with the-
Wonderful.
That's fabulous.
I'm gonna have to do an animated cartoon cricket, suicidal cricket, and a called like a Jim Jones
Suicidal
cricket.
Yeah.
I can't believe that crickets are suicidal. It's just like
I don't know if is that how do you test that?
There we go. We're on. We're on. How do you
Cliffy
test?
just
How do you
texted
test that if they're
Yeah, how do you
suicidal?
find out if a cricket is suicidal?
well, you talk to the cricket's therapist, obviously, or like I did when I was ready to off myself this past winter. You call 211, and hopefully a cricket doesn't use a cricket cell phone and get bumped off the suicide
Give him
hotline 4 times.
antidepressants.
Yeah, but I mean, what is? There's no way to really tell. I mean, how do you know the cricket's
They
not just
look-
slightly like maybe he was a little too much time in the sun, and maybe he was just feeling a little too.
He looks sad, man, just like anyone else does when they're depressed.
Nobody knows what it's like.
Except in cricket, he would sing that, but in cricket,
He'll tell
Really?
you to stick it
Really?
you know,
right up your nose.
we've now lost.
We lost.
The 1.5
I'm
listeners
getting
that we've
blamed for
had.
audience loss.
We lost
I'm
the
getting
last
blamed for audience-
listener.
That's
The
awesome.
texts are coming
That's
in.
awesome. Why don't you step on another person's answer to a question? That'd be awesome.
Hey, you know, keep.
I was going to
yeah,
do
hey.
actually a musical parody cause I was going to do a whole album of musical parodies because I love Weird Al and stuff
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that. That was one of them. Nobody knows what it's like to be a fat man, and
Oh,
you
okay.
know,
Oh yeah. that's
Kid
cool.
Rock's American Fat Ass is what I was going to do.
There
Yeah,
you go.
can you
All
sing it?
kinds of them, yeah.
Look at that.
Can you go for
You're
it?
set to go. You've actually really kind of killed that whole 2-liter bottle, haven't you? There's like a little.
Yeah, I used to drink about 5 of these a day.
Yeah, me too. I do that too.
It's a wonder why, you know.
Yeah.
Are you diabetic?
I'm close. I'm getting there. I'm getting
Everybody's
there. Yeah, I'm getting
diabetic.
there.
Me and Russ had this conversation
Yeah.
before because his
The birthday
doctors.
boy?
Yeah,
Oh, is it Russ's birthday?
we should
Absolutely,
call.
man.
Can we call out on that phone?
We can't, but we can send him a message and have him call in.
He don't really take text messages.
No,
Let
he
me try
doesn't.
calling him
He's
and see
old,
if we
man.
can.
He's an old guy.
Here, let me finish this text message and then I'll call.
Awesome. See, you're technological
Russ
marvel
Martin.
over there. You are a technological machine.
It is Russ Martin's birthday today.
Awesome, Russ Martin.
Happy birthday
Oh, Jesus.
to you.
Here we go, man.
Hey, happy birthday to you.
Russ Martin.
Let's give him a call so we
Happy
can get out of this.
birthday, Russ Martin. Oh, happy birthday to you.
My insides are cringing right now today.
Cringing or breaking?
Hey, Russ.
Breaking
awesome.
and cringing.
Hey, are you at home right now? Or
We're gonna
you
see.
out?
This is awesome. This is the way this goes.
Oh, never mind. I was going to see if you wanted to call into the show so we could wish you a happy birthday. We
Why
can't
don't you
call
have
out
the
from
lap
phone
dancer
line.
take the phone, man? Have the girl doing the lap dance take the phone. Hand it off. Hand it off, Russ.
Give us a call, Russ.
It's cool. We just, I thought maybe if you're at home, you'd want to call in to the radio station.
Happy birthday to you.
That's Brendan wish. Yeah, Brendan. So we're all wishing you a happy birthday.
No
man.
one can turn you down. You know, that's not good. I don't like that.
I know.
I'd like to turn you down.
All right, I guess I'll talk to you later, man.
This is where that whole God complex things comes
No
in.
kidding.
All right, see you.
man.
Happy birthday, man.
That's right.
Look at his space compared to ours, Jeff. Look at his space, man.
Hey, I will trade this out any day.
Hey,
Anybody
isn't
else
that a
wants to
television
do this
show
in the-
trade?
Oh,
Trading
put me on the
spaces.
board, man. I'll rock and roll that
Awesome.
board.
Awesome.
I'll just hit
Can't wait.
buttons.
I can't wait to just be able to sit there and wait to step.
I'm
on
a
people as
technical
they're answering
wizard.
other questions and
I'm a wizard of
That's what you
technical
are.
status.
are you?
Absolutely.
Are you?
Sure.
Awesome. All right.
How many times are you going to ask me that?
I don't know.
Let's count.
Whoa.
So,
what was the other
suicidal
count?
crickets.
Yeah, that's what the count was for today. Is how quickly we could get off subject.
Yeah, so
But we
throw
don't
out-
have a subject right
throw out a
now because
subject.
our captain of the boat apparently over here is too busy trying to sing songs instead of navigating our.
This is not a lounge, sir.
It would be cool if it was.
It
Though.
would be, man.
Well,
a lot of red velvet everywhere.
In breaking
Dingle
Milwaukee
balls.
comedy news, there's now a new Tuesday open mic. Oh, we already broke that news earlier, didn't we?
No, not on the
No,
air.
no one broke that.
See,
news.
that's
That
my
news
mistake.
was-
The earlier when I started talking about stuff that we were talking about in the
In the
apartment.
That news,
Yeah,
that news was broken on the MKE Funny group on Facebook.
Yeah, there you go.
Shortly.
If you go to the program, the social networking site, the Facebook, you can check that out, and you can go to. If you have to join the group, don't you?
I believe it's an open group.
And so you don't have to approve that.
We swing either way.
One person new. Hey, y'all. Only a few more classes left for the summer. Come on down and check it out.
Who's that?
Michael Guthrie teaching physical comedy at Bucket Works on Tuesday,
Oh yeah, he's been
6:30.
doing a lot of cool stuff down there, man. I've been wanting to take some of those classes. I just can't get. I work. He recently had a Journal Sentinel article written about them. About him, so he's been really moving it down there at the Bucket Works. If you ever been down to the Bucket Works, it's an awesome place. They can rent. You can rent. Me and Jeff are doing some stuff down there. Some interviews down there, and you can rent out a room for what, an hour, $10 to rent out that whole room, and it was a really nice room to do interviews in, man.
Is that through Bucket Works? Or is
Yeah,
that through
Bucket
this
Works.
guy?
Yeah, no, this is through Bucket Works, but he operates out of the same building.
Sure.
And he's doing, like fire eaters, balloon animals, anything circus-wise that you want to learn, man. He's doing a great job down there.
Sure. Well, Sammy Raychar, I never know if it's a Raychar or Arachar or... Sammy, I'm sorry I don't know how to pronounce your name. Come to a few more open mics, dude, and I'll learn your name.
Wow.
Wow, man. Jeez.
Wow. Should we get a tampon for somebody? What?
He's getting, like, that side of the table's getting harsh over there.
I know. It's bitter on that
We're
end
the
of the
nice
table.
people over
Let's-
here.
Sammy
You know-
Raychar is hosting an open mic at the Irish Rec Room on Tuesday nights.
Irish Rec Room. What's the Irish Rec Room?
I think we all know what the Irish Rec Room is.
I'd be afraid to go into an Irish Rec Room with.
So Sammy Raychar is putting that together. That's at the old Tequila Rose on Water Street.
And he's still putting together the details. He's going to let me know as soon as everything's solid down there, and we'll be posting it up on...
Yeah, so it looks like
And
it's going to be
MKE
an 8
Fun.
o'clock show up, 8:30 sign in, 8:30 start time, and so that's a new Tuesday night thing. You can still go to the Tuesday open mic that did get mentioned.